Hello, everybody. Excuse me. I just had to sneeze, so I had to mute the mic for a second. These allergies, I'll tell you. But I am talking about the danger of staying silent to fit in, also known as people pleasing, following a crowd, the popular crowd. People pleasing can get you into trouble, and there is a danger in doing so. So, in this video, I want to talk about it in a biblical perspective. So, without further ado, I'm going to get into the video. So, have you ever stayed quiet even though you knew something was wrong just to avoid conflict? Maybe you laughed at something you didn't agree with. Maybe you followed a crowd because you didn't want to look different. Maybe you ignored your convictions because you wanted people to like you. But here's the truth. Going along to get along can get you into serious trouble. Not everybody around you is leading you in the right direction. And sometimes the biggest mistakes people make happen because they were too afraid to stand alone. Today, I'm going to be talking about why compromising your values or acceptance is dangerous, and how standing firm can protect your peace, your future, and your relationship with God. Okay, so the first section, the pressure to fit in. We live in a world where people are pressured to agree with everything. If you speak up, you're called difficult. If you disagree, people act like you're the problem. So many people stay silent just to keep the peace. But keeping the peace and compromising your morals are not the same thing. There's a difference between being kind and abandoning your convictions. The crowd will often encourage you to do things you already know are wrong. And the scary part, wrong things start to feel normal when everybody around you is doing them. That's how people slowly drift away from wisdom. So let that sink in. The main section, following the crowd has consequences. A lot of people end up in toxic friendships, bad relationships, financial problems, legal trouble, or spiritual confusion because they follow the crowd instead of using discernment. Sometimes people know something feels wrong in their spirit, but they ignore it because they don't want to be excluded. The truth is, not everybody deserves access to your agreement. If something violates your values, your peace, or your relationship with God, you do not have to participate just because everyone else is doing it. Standing alone may feel uncomfortable, but following the wrong crowd can cost you much more. The next section, biblical perspective. The Bible warns us repeatedly not to blindly follow the crowd. In the book of Exodus, it says, "You shall not follow a crowd to do evil." That verse is still relevant today. Even Jesus stood apart from the culture around him. He wasn't driven by popularity. He spoke truth even when people rejected him for it. As believers, we are called to use wisdom, discernment, and courage. Sometimes obedience to God means being misunderstood by people. And honestly, not fitting in can be protection. God may be separating you from situations that would damage your life. That's something to think about. And it's so true. I can think of a lot of situations that I was in where man's rejection, God's protection. The next section, how to stop people pleasing. If you struggle with going along just to avoid conflict, here are a few things to remember. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to disagree respectfully. You do not need everyone's approval. Peace built on pretending is not real peace. Discernment is more important than popularity. The right people will respect your boundaries and convictions. Anybody who pressures you to betray your values is not leading you somewhere healthy. Let that sink in. And to conclude this, at the end of the day, Following the crowd makes life easier temporarily, but it can create consequences that last for years. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is stand alone and stay true to what you know is right. Because going along to get along may win you temporary acceptance, but wisdom, discernment, and integrity will protect your future. If this message spoke to you, please leave a comment below. And have you ever experienced trouble from following the crowd? And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And please share this to someone who needs encouragement to stand firm. Thank you all. God bless you all. And I pray that y'all stay safe and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye bye.